Hello and welcome to Soulful Saturdays with Trisha. This is Trisha Ghosh coming to you from New Delhi, India. And today I am really excited and I am dedicating this show of mine today to cancer survivors and to people who are battling cancer. The reason is that my special guest, Amery, today is a cancer survivor himself, and I'm so pleased to have you on the show, Luke. So, Luke is an inspirational speaker, mindset coach, brain cancer survivor, and the best selling author of the Ganbru mindset. So he is an amazing person. And Luke, I extend you a very warm welcome on my show, and thank you so much for sparing the time to be here.
Oh, why? Thank you, Trisha. Thank you so much. I'm so blessed and grateful to hang out with you for a little bit here and with your audience. So thank you so much. And yeah, it's gonna be a good chat, right? So let's get it on. Yeah.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you here. So before I ask Luke, his story and all that, so I'd like to tell you that Luke was, just almost he recovered when I became friends with his wife, and I know what his family went through during that time, because at times, she used to share her, she just used to share her emotions with me, and I really remember, how it felt like. So first of all, congratulations to you, Luke. I pray to God that you have an amazing, healthy life. So
thank you.
What's your story, Luke?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Trisha. That's really sweet of you. And look, a little bit about me. I come from a open cut mining background. For those who don't know what that is, it's open cut minerals, coal, copper, aluminium here in Australia. I was living the FIFO fly-in, fly-out lifestyle, working in remote central locations in Australia here, working away from my family at long periods of time. I did that over for a good 6 years in that industry. Absolutely loved my job, but the economy and the hours and the pressure of the job and the role and being away from home for so long and missing out on so many events and was starting to get to me. So I've started to, send a message out to the universe saying that, I'm looking for a change. I want to come home. And it's funny how the universe delivered. So that's a little bit about me. So my career title, I was a mobile plant operator. If you can visualize the Tonka toys, the big dump trucks in Australia here, that's what I'm qualified to do. Earning a six-figure income, very good money, great food, very good internet, well looked after, fly in, fly out. But I was looking for a change. Yeah.
Okay. So that's great. So so is it after that, when you wanted to quit, is it after that you got to know that you've got brain cancer? Could you please share your journey, when you came to know about it, from the time when you got well, absolutely cancer-free? What was your mindset? What was your feelings? Sure. Could you please take us briefly into your journey?
Yeah, look, I touched base on, I was looking for a change, Trisha, and when I was in my last job, I was doing 80 hours a week, and I was doing 3 weeks at a time away from my family. And as I said, I was looking for a change. So my daily DMO or process, what I would do each day was do my 10, 12-hour days, then hit the gym, and then do some studies. So I was looking to go into another branch of employment, and it slowly, I think it just overwhelmed me and stressed me out and burnt me out. So I started getting these headaches prior to 2014, where I was getting chronic headaches, waking up in immense pain, having 6 tablets of painkillers
Oh
per
my
day.
God.
Yeah, yeah, and I actually found myself actually not walking in a straight line. So I'd find myself like I'm drunk or I've had too much alcohol. I'm holding on the chairs. I could still drive though, but I found myself just fundamentally unstable. So it started to die down. It went away. So I went on holidays for about 3 weeks. This is before Christmas. Everything was going really well. Then the headache started coming back again. Then I started vomiting. Um, so I started to actually see my GP, get a checkout or a checkup. Look, everything looked fine. He couldn't see any serious harm that, or suggestions that it might be something causing it. So I went home, and then I actually that night I went into hospital. Um, Nothing could be identified. No real issues there. So pumped me full of fluids and went home. Then the next day, went in again because I had the same symptoms again, throwing up and vomiting and nausea and not walking in a straight line and not eating much, right? Same thing again. Went in, pumped me full of fluids. We think you do have some form of bug or infection. Well, let's send you home, and if anything happens, come back in. Okay, I say, all right, no worries. So the next day, third and final day, went back in, and they said the same thing. And then I said, well, look, this is the third time lucky. Let's do something different. They said, "What's that?" And I said, "Well, what have you got? You've done your blood test. There's no cancer. There's no other form of infections. I couldn't walk in a straight line. I couldn't put 2 feet together, so to speak. Um, so they suggested to have a CAT scan. Go in, have a CAT scan, and I had a gut feeling that it was something. Not that I thought it would be a brain tumor, but
Something's
I go
wrong.
in, something's wrong. So I went in, I chilled out a little bit on the scanner, come out. As I'm walking out of the room, I look to my right. They say, don't look at the screen, don't ask for the results or anything like that. I look to my right and I see my scan and I see a grey shadow, a golf ball size.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I thought so. I thought so. I just my intuition and my gut feeling was there.
Confirmed.
It
So it
was
was confirmed.
yeah, it was really confirmed, right? So they say, oh, okay. I didn't say anything, and I didn't let them know that. Oh, hey, I know.
I got it.
Uh, yeah, I got it right. I just like, oh, okay, all right. And then I'm sitting in there in my bed, and the doctor comes in, and he draws the curtains, and he says, "Look, I'm afraid to tell you some bad news." And I said, "Well, what's that?" And he said, "Well, we've discovered that you have a brain tumor in the back of your head, in the back of your brain." and and my response was quite positive. I didn't react. I didn't go off or start crying. I said, great, now I know how to solve the problem.
Exactly. I got the problem. Now I can find a
I've got
solution.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. And the reason why I did that because um obviously reacting to things that go on a in our daily basis in our lives, it's how do we react to things is the outcome, right? So I was talking to the chap across from me in the other bed, and he was having a really hard time. Um, whatever he was going through at the time. So I even though I assured him and saying, hey, you're going to be okay. You're just going to stay positive, and you're going to be fine. And when he heard the news, because he heard the news, I opened up the curtains and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I said, mate, it's okay. you know? Um, yeah, so that's a little bit about that. Uh, and that's just how I responded to
That's
the
wonderful.
diagnosis. Yeah, yeah.
So was your wife there when the doctor announced?
She was there. She was out in the lobby. Um, she was informed of the news. Not that I was aware of at the time, but she was informed of the news, and then she was given a free coffee. She said, "Look, we need to have a chat. We need to have a talk to you. Your husband has been diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he's going to the Gold Coast University Brain Clinic ASAP. I mean, right now." And she's like, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!" Like too much information, too quick, sudden change, and that's when I think I don't know how it would have been in her universe then, but I swear the guy she would have said, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Must have felt devastated because
Yeah.
such news scare people, because you never know what the
Mm.
outcome will be, what the future will be for the person who's diagnosed with such a thing. So over
Yep.
the period, how long uh, did your treatment go, and how long did it take you to get healthy, cancer free? What was the period that?
Yeah, sure, Trisha. Like, I initiated the treatment, well, not even a treatment, but even getting back to optimum health was going to be just 1 month. But it turned out to be 4 years.
Oh my, okay.
So 4 years. So after um, the first plan was to have just one brain surgery, right? But it ended up having two more on top of that because I had a brain infection on number two. Yeah, number two I did. Um, yes, I had meningitis, which
Oh,
is
okay.
an infection in the brain, the
Yes,
layers of my brain.
with high
So I had
fever.
high fever, vomiting, immense pain. Uh, then radiation, chemo, 3 brain surgeries, lung infection
Three.
as
Oh my
well.
God.
Yeah, yeah, stem cell transplants. So just for um, recovering from the antibiotics was 2 weeks just on its own. Um, so it took longer than anticipated, right? But I maintained to the best of my ability at the time, being on these drugs and steroids and things like that, was staying positive to the best of my ability, working with nurses and other patients and scans and stitches and tubes and just amazing. Yeah, yeah.
So what's while you were there, so what did you do to stay positive, Lou? Because I can kind of relate to what you went through. I don't have the same thing, but I do have a brain problem because I met with a serious accident, okay, and I had brain edema, and
Mhm.
my brain is
Yeah.
have a problem. So I know those headaches. I know when you can't, walk straight. I know when you feel nausea. I know when you're vomiting. I know all
Mm.
that stuff. So I can relate to it, how painful it's. So what did you do? And especially like you said, going through the round of chemos. Chemo is a very unpleasant thing. I know it because my uncle had cancer, and
Yeah.
not being able to eat. It's like it's really painful. So how did you get over, that state? How did you keep that positive mindset? How did you stay happy in spite of all the ordeals? I would say it's actually an ordeal to go through
Mm.
all this. So, yeah.
Yeah, Trisha, yeah, sure. Look, what I constantly did on a daily basis, even while I was going on to radiation and chemo, was that I kept active as best. Let me say that again. I kept active to the best of my abilities. So I always made sure that I was doing some form of exercise,
Oh,
whether that
wonderful.
was whether that was just walking, and I'd always make sure that I was feeding my mind with positive stuff, music, podcasts. I always made sure I was always active, walking, getting out of the hospital. So if I could sneak out without the nurses knowing,
Okay, you
yeah,
used to
yeah,
sneak
I
out.
did.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, because I break the rules, right? So you know, um, so I always that really was just feeding my mind really, and I listened to energy that was around me. So if I was associated or next to someone who was, say, if their energy was toxic or anything like
Sulking,
that,
sulking.
yeah, sulking.
Oh,
I
I'm gonna
always made sure.
die. Oh, I'm gonna
Oh yeah,
die.
that's right. So it's just always made sure that I'd stay. I would reduce my time with them. So I'd always be vibrant, funny, feed my mind, exercise, eat well if I could, and also just get out of the hospital and get some fresh air into myself, which has always just really helped. Really, really helped.
This
Yeah.
is amazing. I remember once, reading a case study of a woman who had breast cancer. You wouldn't
Mm,
believe, Luke, she did not go on any treatment. She
yeah.
actually said maybe a very minor treatment. She did not undergo chemos or anything. So she said
No.
that, like she had faith. You know what her practice was? She said that I used to be very positive. I never ever discussed my illness with anyone. Morning till
Mm,
evening, I was watching all these, comedy shows that would make me laugh. And she was also
yes.
feeding her mind all the time, feeding her mind
Yeah.
all the time. That's what I see. And I have another patient who's a cancer survivor in my family, distant relative. She's absolutely fine. This is something that I've seen people who are really positive, people who are happy people, and who want to live with the faith instead of sulking, who just go
Yep.
through, okay, I got to go through it, but yeah, I have to come out of it. You know,
Mm,
I'm not going to be in
yeah.
this place forever. That,
Totally, totally. And that reminds me of the same sort of story. A lovely lady on The Secret, the movie The Secret. She had the same, I think it was breast cancer, and that's how she healed herself, was watching Seinfeld and comedies on TV.
I think she's the same
Uh,
lady. I don't
yeah,
remember.
could be, right?
Same lady.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that'd be another thing for me too, was watching The Secret from when it really first came out. I used all that philosophy and the mindset just from The Secret. So going through the whole cancer journey thing, I always made sure that I was just being aware on how I was reacting to things or what was sort of happening around me. I think, is the universe trying to tell me something? you know? Yeah, yeah.
I can actually seriously totally relate to it because, even
Mm,
like I said, I have survived death
mm,
thrice. And I have this medical condition, that said that it's lifelong, but I know I'm
mm.
going to remove it from my body. But yeah, there was a period in my life that I suffered a lot. Because of that, I was in bed for 3 years, and
Oh,
it was an extremely painful condition. The doctor said, that you're gonna die in a month, and that was few years back. Actually, it is such a coincidence, Luke, that it is uh, 8 years back on this day today I had that surgery, where
Really?
I had signed the papers, where God, the doctor said that I might lose my life during the surgery. And just after a few days, she said, well, we cannot control your medical condition,
Mm.
so you won't survive beyond a month. And
Oh,
here I am, 8 years. By the grace of God, I don't want to be, arrogant about it or something, but
yeah, sure.
I said,
Yeah.
by the grace of God, but the practices that I did. That
Mm.
period is the time when I discovered myself, because uh,
Yes.
I was doing things that I love to do. I was like, instead of lying down and sulking with the pain and things and that, to actually divert my attention, I was doing different things. All that's making me happy. And that's the time when I discovered my great passion and love for writing. That's the
Yeah.
period when I started to write my book. It has
Yeah.
been an amazing time. I used to stay, I wouldn't say that I was in the top of my moods all the time, but like you said, I
Mm.
used to read, I used to feed my mind, I used to be connecting with people on the social media, learning with them, from them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what kept me excited. You need to keep that excitement in your life. Not
Yep.
See, life is always, it's life. It's always going to give you curveballs, but how you
Oh, yeah.
you know how you
Yeah.
react how you react to it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just, you get the lemons, make lemonade, or you can just stay with the sour taste. So what do you want? you want
Yes.
you want
Totally
lemonade?
true.
You want to have lemonade, or you want to stay with the sour taste? That's totally up to you. So
Yep. Yep.
that's
Totally
all.
agree.
So, well,
Yeah.
congratulations. And seriously,
Thank you.
I'm sure you've learned an amazing lesson, and that's the reason you're doing what you're doing today, right?
That's right.
It's a landmark event, I think, in your life. It has made you
It,
the person you are today.
I am truly grateful to be and humbled and to be in this position that I am in now. If you said to me or asked me, say 5 years back, if we rewind and say, Luke, I can see you being a life coach or a mentor, best-selling author, and a speaker, I would have just went
Dismissed
no,
it, laughed at it.
dismissed it. You know, so the universe does provide, and sometimes, where was I listening? Inspire Your Fire, Ignite Your Fire, or On Fire by John O'Leary. He shares there that, the universe will, no, it's actually a podcast, sorry. There was a podcast where it said in there that, sometimes curveballs will come our way, but it's not what we want. We're just going to break through that. And that's what really happened to me. So I do pinch myself, and I do get these moments. I'm like, well, hey, I'm home. I wanted to be home, so that was the gift that I got. And I'm healthy. I'm happy. I'm abundant. I have an awesome book, and I'm just truly grateful. That I'm alive. Um, yeah, yeah,
That's amazing. So,
yeah.
you talk about this Ganbru mindset. Is that how it's pronounced? Ganbru
That's
mindset.
right.
So,
Yeah.
what do you mean? Actually, that's the name of your book as well. So, what do you exactly mean by the Ganbru mindset?
Okay. Well, Ganburu, it's a Japanese philosophy, and what it means is that never giving up in showing tenacity through hard and challenging times in life and in business. And the philosophy dates back to the tsunami, which is around 2010, actually, in Japan. I think the earthquake and that, when they had that major earthquake. And what they would say, uh, during those times would say, Ganbru, Ganbru, let's do it, let's keep going, So a good friend of mine, Lauren Clement, she's a branding expert, said to me, here's your book, here's an idea for your book, and here's the brand. And I'm like, no, I don't want it. It's too emotional for me. But that's what that means is just never giving up, like curveballs, right? Like we all get them, no matter what we do. I still get some. Anyway, we just got to punch them through them. So that's what that means, Trisha. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome.
Hmm.
So you are a mindset coach, Luke, and
Mm,
mindset is really important. So as a coach, I will request you to deliver, just a small, what should I say, maybe your thoughts on mindset.
mm.
What would you like to tell people? Why, talk about mindset? Why is it necessary? Can you please share a bit of your mind on that?
Yeah, sure, Trisha. Look, I feel we all have a gift, and that we need to be outside our comfort zone the whole time. And my purpose in life now is to wake people up through my true story, and the strategies that I have in my book, Ganbru Mindset, is definitely does that. But what I like to leave with you guys today is that we have a limited time on this earth, and we've been given a gift. We either take it for granted, do nothing with our time while we're on this earth, or we accept it and take responsibility with integrity and take action and make something of our lives while we're on this earth. Because why I say that is that some people will get to close to their deathbed, and they're on their deathbed, and they rerun the tapes again, and they'll say, I wish I did that, I should have done that, I should have taken that challenge, or I should have started that business. And that's just what I'm trying to get at, is like we all have the possibility to shine. So my message is just to shine on and take responsibility and go for it.
Absolutely. I'd just like
Yeah.
to add to it. Like I said, 8 years back on this
Mm,
day, I went for surgery and I didn't know whether I would come back alive from the operation theater or not. But
mm,
when I was being wheeled into the operation theater,
sure.
I had this feeling, oh my God, if I die today, what have I done with my life?
That's it.
Life is like pretty boring. I mean,
Mm,
I'm like, I have not done anything, I have not, I'm not very happy with my career. I'm not fulfilled. I've not done anything for anyone. And that day, fortunately, I was pretty young when I had this realization. A lot of people, when they're dying at the age of 85 or 90, they have this regret on their deathbed. But I'm blessed that I had this regret long time back, being very
mm,
young. And
mm.
that's what I'd like to say, that, you never know when your day might come. You just don't
Oh,
know.
totally.
Yeah, because thrice I have been at a place where everything has been normal, and boom, I land
Yep,
in the hospital. So
that's
life is
exactly right.
life is very uncertain. So do what you want to do today. Be grateful. Discover
Mm,
your gifts. Discover your passions. Work on your passion and serve the people, because
yep.
that's the purpose why we are born. We have been
Mm,
given gifts so that we can serve our brothers and sisters on this planet. uh, so that's really important, and those are the people who are actually successful, who discover their gifts, who step out of their comfort zone, and those who go and work. Whatever situation you might be in your life, trust me, they're just two weapons: faith and action. If you have these two weapons, there's nothing that can pin you down. I have
mm,
overcome every challenge in my life with faith and action. That's what I've done.
Well, well, that's very true, and it's so smack bang in your face, right? And I shared this story with when I did a speaking event on what was it Thursday. I said, we can either tiptoe our way through life just to make it safely to death. And I shared another analogy on that because I said a dear friend of mine, his wife has just been diagnosed with a brain tumor as well, and she's a lovely lady, beautiful woman, and has been given the possibility of surviving 15 months.
Okay.
And I said, look, let's look at it this way. You tiptoeing your way through life and you're not taking any risk at all. You're just playing it safe. And then bang, you get diagnosed with this sort of illness, that you've got so long to live. How would you feel? Would you say to yourself, I wish I had taken that action or had taken that business on? I wish I did this or wrote that book. What's it going to be? Because we're all on here for a reason, right? So I had a few people in tears and had a few people really shocked. Some interesting questions as well, and that's what life is, right? You never know when your day is going to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I'd
yeah,
say one more thing. Don't go by other people's opinion. The doctor is
no,
limited. The doctor is just very
totally,
limited by his thoughts and his experience. If he's saying
yeah,
15 months, that like the doctor said 1 month for me,
yeah,
it was his opinion. Her opinion, and I did not take her opinion. If I
yeah.
had, if I had, I wouldn't
That's
be alive.
right.
I wouldn't be alive today.
Yes, yes, very true, very true.
So
Yeah,
that's the thing. That's the thing. So,
mm,
what is your book? The Ganbru. You're actually it's a best-selling book. Actually, the Ganbru
that's right.
mindset. So, is that your autobiography or is it a mindset book?
It's more of a memoir, so it's more of prior to like we've just mentioned, diagnosis, stepping into my mining career, diagnosis, and then dealing with the curveballs. And I do have the strategies in there on how you can implement a Ganbru mindset in your life, and that's and I also give back as well because I do have some beautiful people in there that I met during the process, and I've actually get them to write some messages of gratitude, and they're actually really, really nice. I'm just so blessed to have that in there, and I met a lovely, beautiful little girl. Not little, but younger than me at the time. She was diagnosed with the brain tumor like I had, but sadly she didn't make it.
Okay.
So yeah, so what I did was I dedicated the book to Jessica, and her mum was deeply touched and blessed, and so I wrote an introduction in regards to paying her respects to Jessica. So that is what the book is about. It's more of a memoir than anything, and it's the reviews on Amazon and the reviews that I've had through friends and business colleagues has just been absolutely amazing, and they feel it's the best book that they've read and things like that.
Wow,
So
amazing.
yeah, truly amazing. Yeah,
That's great. So you've touched so many lives with just this book of yours, apart from all the speaking sessions and all
yeah.
that you do. That's really amazing. That's the reason
Thank you.
a book is a legacy, and it's going to
It
keep
is.
touching lives and changing lives forever. That's the
Yeah.
best part about writing a book. So is it just a paperback, or you got an audible version as well?
I'm working on the Audible version down the track.
Okay.
I do have paperback, and you can get hard copy as well, and you can also get
A
what do they
Kindle
call it?
version.
Yeah, Kindle version as well on Amazon. Yeah, yep, yep,
Great. So the link, you can find the book on Luke's website. It's there
yep.
in the description box. You can click on it, and you can get all information about Luke and his book as well. You can get the book from there. So just before we end this, Luke, what would be your message to our audience?
Sure. Yeah. Look, like I touched base before, our time is valuable. Our time is a precious asset. We can always create money, but we physically cannot create time. We can save time. Yeah, that's for sure. But I like to make note and say, be valuable of your time, and be understanding on who you spend your time with. They say that the most 5 people that you hang around is who you become. So be mindful on where you want to go in life. Do you want to be an entrepreneur or an author? If you're hanging around with people who have jobs and don't have a vision of growing and changing the world, then you need to actually move on a little bit. Don't pull the straws out, so to speak, but just say to yourself, I need to prosper. I need to find like-minded people that are going to support me, not compete against me, but support me. Because we all have the ability to grow,
Absolutely.
and I love to see that in the world. Yeah.
That's awesome. And if you don't have such people around you, then you can always resort to the social media, because where I am, I don't have
Mm.
people who understand what I do, or I don't have people to support me. But I have got great friends on Facebook and other
Mm.
social media platforms who support me with what I do. We are supporting each other, and of course, following leaders, learning from them. A lot of their podcasts are all free, books are free. There's so much that you can do. It's not difficult to hang around with anyone you want now, because every leader does podcasts, Facebook lives. He's got a YouTube channel,
That's
so
it,
there's no problem in hanging out with the people you want, because they're right there. That's the best thing.
Trisha. Yeah, it is awesome, isn't it? Yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, it has been such a pleasure to talk to you, Luke, here. And thank you so much for sharing your experiences. It must have been a little painful going down the memory lane. I understand. Sorry about that
That's
if
all right.
I
It's all
caused
good.
you any pain. And thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. And so
So,
people, this has been a wonderful conversation that Luke and I have had. Please share it. Sharing is caring. You never know, a life can be saved, just if not many. Just even if we are able to save a single life or inspire people into their greatness, we will be so grateful to you. So please share it, and thank you so much for watching us. I will be back next Saturday again with yet another show with yet another amazing persons. Until then, goodbye and have a great week.
thank you,
Bye.
Trisha.
You're welcome. Bye, Luke.